Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we are playing some blue-white Stoneblade with no reserve list cards. As you may know, I started out my channel playing Stoneblade. This is one of my favorite cards of all time, Stoneforge Mystic. She is sometimes really good and sometimes really mediocre in Legacy, but I think she's going to be a little bit better today because we got a serious addition to the deck in the form of the mighty Thor, Jane Foster. Now, Jane Foster, I don't know a lot about the Thor, lore, but I understand it's like Thor's girlfriend, and she gets like powered up at some point in the comics. So very cool. And she has this text. I'm going to read the whole thing. 1 colorless, 1 white, 1 blue for a legendary creature, human, god, hero. That's a lot of types. And she is a 3/3 flying. And whenever the mighty Thor attacks, exile up to 1 target non-token artifact or creature, then return that card to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. So this is very similar to Felia, but it has this additional text. Whenever an equipment you control enters, draw a card. So she can blink equipment and you get a card and you get whatever beneficial trigger happens from that card. If that's Meteor Sword, blowing up any permanent. If that's Cryptocoat, Manifesting Dread. If that is pre-war formal, bringing back a creature. I mean, this is extremely powerful, and she has the kind of defensive mechanism of also being able to like blink constructs out of existence and things like that. So she's kind of like a powered up flying Felia, less brittle than Felia, but still, 3/3. It would have been great if they'd given her a 3/4, so she'd be bolt proof. But one really cool thing about her is she's blue and she's white, so she pitches to Force and Solitude. And of course she can blink Solitude, so she turns your Solitudes into like a recurring plow effect, which is insane. And Solitude is great because against like the aggro matchups where we need something to pitch, she's legendary. We can easily pitch her to Solitude if we need to. So I've gone all in on this design. There is a dude, Marco Mole, I can't remember his name, who had like a pretty cool list that he was playing with. I want to credit him for the inspiration because I didn't even know this card existed until about 12 hours ago. And then I immediately created this list because you know me, I love no reserve list. I love Stoneblade. So let's talk about the rest of the list. He was playing, of course, like some tempo-y cards like Wastelands and Tundras, which we can't really play if we're trying to go no reserve list. I'm literally playing no non-basics other than these fetches, so I can get the max out of back to basics here. And so I don't have to worry about my mana being accosted, which allows me to play an extremely lean 17 lands, which is great because I want to fit in 4 Lorians. This is one of the best ways to enable flow state. So we are a flow state deck, of course. We're also playing 4 Spell Pierce. We're not playing Tamiyo. No Tamiyos here. So that's pretty cool. We're going to have our turn 1 land out, and we can either Pierce, and if they don't do anything Pierce worthy, we can Lorien, and then we can go into turn 2 Stoneforge, or we can play it slow, hold up Daze to protect the arrival of Stoneforge Mystic. So we're going to very much be a control deck here. We're going to be playing very reactively, and I'm very excited about it. The sideboard, we have some bullets. We have Containment Priest, 2 Wrath of the Skies. Marco was running these main deck. I just don't think that's where we need to be right now. Hydroblasts, love them. Consigns, 4 Force of Negations. If we're up against like a creatureless combo deck, we just take out the 4 Plows and the 3 Solitudes and just board in our Forces and our Consigns. And I've got a Damping Sphere as well. We're going to play a full 5 rounds. See you in round 1. Round 1, we're up against a dedicated Eldrazi player with a very white hand. I'm keeping this. So this is, Solitude and a Plow. And we stick Stoneforge. Stoneforge is probably going to grab Meteor Sword, because then we can just blow up one of their lands or blow up one of their creatures. Ancient Tomb. I might grab Cryptocoat if they're going to... Okay, Chalice on 1. I can just pitch the Solitude or the Plow. I do have a lot of 1-drops in the deck. That's not like a great development for us, but it's not as devastating as it often would be. So here we're almost certainly just going to get the island here, and then next turn we will go for the Stoneforge. We could even get like a Stoneforge equipped with pre-war is bigger than most of their threats. Okay, Linebreaker comes in. So it is going to attempt to get the buff, and I'm just going to go ahead and take care of it now. Love Solitude. It's just such a good card. Like, I think it's totally under played in Legacy, frankly. I mean, it just turned our plow into a live card and saved us from taking 4 damage and then 4 damage, 5 damage, 6 damage, however much next turn as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and draw. Force is probably a reason to go and get the sword here, or the coat, rather. And then we can just go get sword with the subsequent one. And we still want to draw Thor very badly. I think if we draw Thor, this will be extremely good because we can blink the chalice and then reset it to 0. They're taking a lot of damage, too, off these tombs. Reality Smasher. So this is counterable, and I am going to counter it. I don't want to deal with a giant Reality Smasher. All right, that was great. And they took a lot of damage doing that. Lorien. So that's probably just going to be held for a force here. I'll play my land out. I think I just attack for 1 and play the Stoneforge out. And this time I think I'm going to get the sword. Now, if we equip the sword, it's pretty powerful. I could always Lorien cycle. That way I could play a Stoneforge and equip next turn. I do need to go ahead and fetch now. Don't let them get you here. So we're going to get another white source. We'll need it. Okay, and then we'll just go cycle here in the end step. They're running lower on cards. Hopefully they don't just have like insane hammers. Okay, they have a K command, I presume. So I am going to go get the island here so I can double spell. All right. I mean, Brainstorm gets answered by this. What do we want to do first? I think we just go ahead and hit this. They can make a bunch of spawns. That's fine. I don't really care. Next turn, I can equip and start hitting with the Meteor Sword on the creature. I'm going to go ahead and do this. This way I have the ability to Brainstorm. I don't really need this third Stoneforge. Do I want to blow up a land? This is going to start creating creatures pretty soon, but it costs them a lot. Yeah, I think I'll just blow up the chalice here. Okay, now I have Brainstorm up. I think I'm just going to attack here and see if they K command. They don't. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go get another gear. And then I can Brainstorm it away next turn. But I just unlocked Plow, which is a very powerful card in my deck. Let's just hope that they don't have anything here. It's a tough matchup beating Eldrazi when they're on the play. Cavern is really good for them. If they get aggro here, I'm going to definitely come for them. Like if they play... Oh, this is the... what is this? The triggered ability of a colorless spell you control or another colorless permanent you control triggers. Okay. I have never seen this card before. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, copy it. You may choose a new target. Okay. I mean, this seems pretty good because now they get double creatures. We're going to need to kill them very quickly here. So I want to Brainstorm away this pre-war. Yeah, I'm going to Brainstorm away the pre-war. Hope to find some sort of shuffle effect. Okay, so Force can only deal with one of these. I do want to put the pre-war away. I think I'm supposed to put... Man, actually, I think I'm supposed to keep the pre-war. Just put the forces away. And the Pierce, these are bad. Yeah, and now I have Plow up, and I can go ahead and equip the Meteor Sword. All right. Take 6. They can still do nasty things to me, but I have Plow. They're at 5. They don't have any life gain in their deck. They're relying on these Ancient Tombs to cast a lot of their spells. So we'll get our... we have 4 planes in our deck. You might be wondering why my mana base is the way it is. I really genuinely believe that... oh, wow. They're so low in resources here. What is this? Reality Smasher. They get 2 Reality Smashers. Okay. I'm going to wait for them to go to combat because they're dead on the back crack. Because if I Plow, I may be saving them from death. It's crazy. This is really cool. All right. Do you want to attack with both or just attack with one? Unfortunately, if they just attack with one, I think I just Plow it. Let's see. So I Plow it. They gain 5. They've got tons of resources over there. I don't take 5, though. Let's see. They will take 6. So I Plow. If I just take this hit, then I Plow. I can discard my worst card. Wait a second. This costs 3 to equip. It's so costly. No, wait. I could put it in, equip, and then just attack. I think I'm supposed to take this. And then it's a force block, and I have a vigilant blocker. That seems extremely strong. Okay, so upkeep. We're going to go ahead and get another planes, I guess. Now, I'm not getting the benefit of bringing something back here. Island. I might want to hold that for Plow. Yeah, so if I have to plow something. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Pre-war comes in. Now, pre-war here. You are welcome to block my 6/7 here, and I will be blocking your 5/5. Sure. So they're going to need like another big top deck here. I've still got a lot of blocking power here. I'll hold the island so I have a card to pitch to plow if I need a plow. Because Reality Smasher, you have to discard when you target him. Lotus Petal. Oh, sure. You get a couple Lotus Petals. They could K-Command, in which case I would need to pay a lot of mana to re-equip. They don't have a good attack. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack. They make K-Command. Thor. I think I play post-combat. I think I just attack. They're going to K-Command. And then I just move my gear over. And I'm not going to give them free lunches. Like, if they have a K-Command, they could, like, block with the Reality Smasher. They may just have to chump here. They're creating a colorless shapeshifter. How do they not have to pay life? Am I missing something? Oh! They named Ancient Tomb. That's smart. Okay. Now it makes sense. Okay, they have a chump blocker for the turn. Wait. I can just plow the chump blocker? All right. Now, would you like to block? You would. Okay. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and just yeet our Mighty Thor. Does it make sense to play a card here? No. I can start blinking Meteor Sword. I think I blink Meteor Sword, hit this. No, I'll almost certainly want to hit this. Okay, let's keep going. If they play Once His Face to take a card out of my hand, I just show them the island, and then when I kill their creature, they lose that. I don't know what they're going to be able to find. Like, obviously, Sire of Seven Deaths. Oh, they screwed up and they tapped the wrong way there. I guess maybe they needed the mana? Sire of Seven Deaths, no problem. I'll just equip Thor and kill him in the air. No, wait. I think Sire has Reach and Death Touch, but, like, I'll still equip everything on. No, wait. I can just blink this, then pay the 7-life ward. And we're going to get so much better after we sideboard because we're going to bring in the consigns. And I'll probably take out a lot of... Well, let's take a look at the sideboard here. They're taking forever to make a decision. But, I mean, this is probably the last meaningful decision they're going to make. Damping Sphere probably comes in. 3 consigns come in. Wrath could come in, but I don't think that's necessary because we have lots of ways of dealing with a Chalice. Okay, I have Ugin. So they can use this. They have double sacrifice trigger on their... That's really funny. Okay. The second sacrifice trigger will fizzle. They can use the eye. They can cast the Mother of All K-Commands, create a bunch of spawns, and tie me up for a few turns. I don't have a way to get haste. Or get trample, unfortunately. But Thor is flying, and I can just move my equipment over and kill them next turn. We got to use all 3 of our equipment, even though the... coat was just pitched to force. That was definitely a big deal. The fact that we're at 11 life just shows how resilient this deck is. The Solitude was great. Okay, they've thought, and they're tapping again. K-Command would be devastating with the Echoes of Eternity card out because they would be able to, like, basically functionally use the Scry twice, get 2 cards. I mean, this is really, really strong. Also, it's worth noting that unlike... No, wait. This can target 1 non-token artifact or creature. The creature can be a token. It's just the artifact can't be a token. I don't know what the distinction, why they added that non-token clause there. How frequently do you encounter token artifacts? I guess technically there is a token artifact on the table right now. Okay, they're using that. They have to have K-Command or something. Like, I don't know why they would labor over this decision so much. But they can exile 2 of our creatures and create a bunch of spawns. Oh, they're activating Eye. Okay. Now they can create 2 of the... what's his face? So they're going to... Wait. They have potentially 5. They can... Oh, Glaring Flesh Trigger. Okay, I see what they're doing. So this gets a copy. One sees the other. This is really strong. And then they get a spawn. Does this... If an ability... Oh, trigger. Interesting. I guess... Because it didn't see the other one being cast? Okay, well, that's fine with me. They're still dead. I just move my gear over, right? I'm going to move my gear over. They could K-Command, but they don't actually have the mana. They need 2 colorless. They don't have the 2 colorless. So I'm pretty sure I could just safely move gear over to here. So let's just move pre-war over. And then I think we just attack them. Blink the sword. Okay, we got it. I wasn't sure if they had like something else, because they burned a ton of clock there on that last decision. But, you know, I do my deck techs after I've like queued in. And some people might be annoyed, like if they play me. If you just happen to be the first round, sorry, like I queue in because it takes sometimes it takes like 3 or 4 minutes, and my deck techs only take like a minute or two, so it makes sense for me to go ahead and do that. And sometimes I burn a little bit of extra clock, but I think our clocks are practically equal now. So back to basics is going to be great. Damping Sphere. I actually think this is like pretty clean sideboard. Like the Spell Piercers are not going to do a lot against their deck. I don't want to take out any of the interaction cards. Yeah, I actually think we've got a really clean sideboard plan with the Pierces out. Again, Wrath could come in, but we'll see. We'll see if there's a game 3. And we're not even close to even, actually. I'm down 5 minutes from their clock. Also, you may hear my kids playing in the background. They're on summer break. They're just kicking it, playing a lot of Zelda, a lot of Mario Maker, reading books and stuff. I mean, this is pretty solid. I wish we were on the play because we could like have the Consign up immediately. Consign can be cast around. I mean, yeah, I'm going to keep this for sure. I wish I had like a Plow or a Solitude, but maybe we can find one off Brainstorm if we get to cast Brainstorm. Okay, Eldrazi Temple, no play. All right, this is fine. I'll just leave my island out there. Drew a Solitude, beautiful. In case of an emergency, break glass. All right, Thought Seer, no thanks. And that was pretty efficient. They took 2 damage for the trouble. I think we go get the Meteor Sword and basically force them to interact here. The other thing I could do is I could just go get... Let's think about it. I don't want to really pitch Thor for any reason. I've got more lands than I care to have. I could just Brainstorm here. There's no 1-drop that I would play out if I did Brainstorm. I have the basic planes in hand. That's very important. I have to get that. Do I want to just jam the Mystic and have Solitude for like an immediate, like a serious emergency? If I get the sword, I can blow this up, and that'll set them back quite a bit. They have the mana to just K-command it out, but like then that's a 2. They get a 2 for 1. I get a 2 for 1. I think I'm supposed to wait. Is my instinct here, because I would rather pitch the Solitude than the Jane. She's going to be really strong. Okay, Cavern. So, yeah, I might regret my decision there. 3 mana. It's white. Okay, they're tapping some more here. Yeah, it sucks that they had this. I really need to find back to basics. That will just be the KO here. All right, so I am going to go ahead and Brainstorm here and just see what I want to keep in my hand. Okay, Redundant Jane. I think maybe I hide the Jane because they don't know about it, and then I just draw it. And if they don't take the Jane, I can just shuffle away these excess lands. I could put back 2 lands. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to put back 2 lands, and I'll just draw, and then I'll play Jane next turn. Or I'll play Stoneforge, Yeah, well, this is exiled, so unfortunately, Pre-War is not going to help us here. I'm just going to put back 2 lands. All right, and they can take whichever of these cards they want. I do think that I should have played out the Stoneforge. Like, obviously, the Cavern of Souls, like I'm... Okay, and they took my Solitude, which is fine, because that would have been a 2 for 1, and I am concerned about like card advantage in this matchup. We're going to go and get a Plains here. We're 19. All right. So I could just go get a Pre-War here. I could Ponder and Pre-War. I think I Ponder first, see what I find. I mean, Flow State doesn't work here. I don't really... Wait, Flow State actually is good. So I could Flow State, but I think I need to be proactive. I want to find a Plow. Okay, I find another Ponder. I think I'm going to go ahead and just get Pre-War here so I can chump. Now, like, attacking feels bad because I just block, and then I just get it right back. If they can disrupt my hand again with a second Thought Knot, that's very strong because they can take the Pre-War. They're paying 2 life here. Dismember. Okay, I mean, I'm still going to Pre-War. That was a very costly Dismember. What else do you have? Do you have the... That's the scariest thing they could have, in my humble opinion. Do they have a Petal or anything? No. We're just taking 4. It's not the end, but we are in danger. I get the Yeah, just get it out of the yard, and then I can block at least Glaring Fleshraker. I actually want to draw a land here. That's actually sweet. Huh. I think what I do here is I do Solitude this and see what my card is. I'm going to exile one of my Janes. Yeah, let's get our card. This is a dangerous game we're playing because we're leaving them with the mana producer. But I want to get a card here. Because if I draw a Plow, then that like is so strong. Oh, that's incredible. I want to find a land. Let's find a land. We found a land. Yeah, and I don't want this Brainstorm necessarily because it could get locked. I'll take the Plains now. And then I can Plow and pre-war. Because I haven't played a land yet. This is incredible. This deck feels amazing. Holy cow. Bye-bye. Don't want you. Now let's go get a sword. I do need to play quickly. There could be another game after this. But now I have sword and Thor. And if I find a land, and I can loop the sword every turn, it's going to be devastating. Karakas is very good against Mighty Thor. That is what I'm going to be blowing up here if I get to use the Meteor Sword. And I am going to attempt to use it. It might make sense to just pre-war first. We'll see what happens. Because this is only like a big deal if I'm trying to cast this. If I'm just like using this for another Solitude, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, they're tapping fully out. 6 mana. Is this Giant K command? They could also exile my Stoneforge so I don't have a target. And now they're doing something else? Thought here? Okay. Yeah, I'm F6. So, what do they do there? They K command. Okay, so I'm left with the worst cards. I mean, this might be the end. I may just scoop here. Flow state is always nice. Let's do it. I still have instant and sorcery. Let's take the Plow and the Consign. These are insane. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and Plow right now. See what I get. If I get a land, I can play it. I get a Damping Sphere. That's pretty good. All right, so Consign, unfortunately, is not going to stop creatures here. It will stop big spells. I will stop that. Yeah, definitely don't want that resolving on my watch. Wow, how good was that freaking flow state? Now we Damping Sphere, and this slows him down quite a bit. Let's Brainstorm first. Back to basics is even better. Let's do that. Meteor Sword, you go back. I think, do we... I'll just put back the... I mean, I can Lorien Reveal next turn. It feels weird, but I think I'm going to put back Damping Sphere because I can just back to basics them. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I'm going to actually put back Damping Sphere. I don't think it's as relevant. We'll just boom, boom, boom. Back to basics. Your move. That just devastated their mana base. Okay. And I think I'm just going to play Jane immediately and start attacking. I think it's the correct play. Got one card in hand over there. I'll get a Plains here. I probably should have gotten an island, technically. Okay, Force. I'm not feeling terribly afraid here. Let's go ahead and play this out, and we'll just pass. Now I can beat them down. I've got a Force for whatever their last final volley is. Hamlet. Okay. I don't know how they get rid of back to basics. I can just Lorien here. I can Flow State, which I think is probably more responsible. Meteor Sword, Damping Sphere. Huh, I thought I shuffled these away. Well, I'm just going to take both the land and the Meteor Sword. And then I can use those next turn, and I can start blinking them as well. That'll be good. Play that out. Let's attack. Nothing to target here. She could target herself, I guess. Okay, and next turn, we just start looping the Meteor Sword, and it's going to be Carnage. Okay. All right, and because that was a... Yeah, I don't have to use this yet. Let's go ahead and fetch. Oh, wait, I only have 6. I don't have 7. Okay, well, I miscounted. That's my own damn fault. I think I'm going to go ahead and just do this. Draw. Okay, and we got another land, so we've got the 7th land. I'll just hold up Consign and Plow here and just play conservatively. No reason to risk a third game when I'm this low on clock. Yeah, how good is Back to Basics? Very, very good. All right. And let's just see if we can get them to tap out for that final spell that we can Consign. Petal's fine. There's no reason to plow. Yeah, I'll just plow this. Okay. You get a triggered ability. You want to keep playing? All right. Good games. All right. We're up against a Death and Taxes deck. I think this is likely going to be a grinder. We might be able to stamp out these Solitudes. We certainly have the mana. I'm just going to keep this and take it slow. Hopefully they take it slow as well. A lot of the strength of Death and Taxes is his ability to attack our mana development, and unfortunately for them, they will not be able to do so. On the play, they've got a lot of cards. I need to get 2-for-1s. I actually don't want to draw a land here. I'm just going to fetch a thing. It is a thing. Don't let people tell you otherwise. It has a small ability to change the outcome of the game. I'm going to go ahead and value. I don't think we threaten Meteor Sword here because it's just too hard to deploy. I'm going to go get the Cryptic Coat, because that is something like we're going to have mana. We can totally win with Cryptic Coat. It takes forever, but it can happen. That's fine. We get a 2-for-1. Again, we're going to need to get a lot of those against their deck. They are very, very strong. They've already got Yorion. They're already an 8-card opening hand deck. I just like to think that they have a whole lot of White Orchid Phantoms. Okay, interesting. White-red. Are you going to try to Blood Moon me? Good luck with that. Magus of the Moon, frequently in the white-red versions. Right, so this is just Jam the Code, I think. I should have gotten white there. I punted because I might need to have the second white to hardcast Solitude. Let's see what we manifest here. It is a Lorien revealed. That's fine. So we're on the table. They're going to come in with their Felia, which can blink this out of existence, but it does actually have Ward, so they'll need to think about that. I am kind of considering plowing or solituding here, depending on what they do. Ghost Quarter, love to see it. Stoneforge Mystic. Unfortunately, I think I am supposed to solitude the dog here. But I'm going to let them make their decision first about what they're going to do. Yeah, I have to solitude the dog and then plow the Mystic. They got pre-war, which is not going to do anything against my deck. I'm going to exile everything. Thank you. So let's go ahead and we're kind of close to casting Solitude, but I've got this plow. It's mana efficient. I'm just going to I'm going to use the plow. I'm not going to let them get more gear here. Actually, yeah, they would have kamikazed the Felia here, but then they were planning to get it back. So I'm denying them that. And I misstacked those triggers. Technically, you want the Solitude to stick around first. Okay. Now let's plow this. And Spell Pierce might do something here. I think I want to just cycle this. I mean, I'm before I ponder, because I'm almost certain that I'm going to want to use that. Okay, now I can ponder. And I have Spell Pierce up, which probably won't do anything against their deck. I don't want any of those cards. I'm going to any order shuffle. Okay, another Lorien is fine. I can just go ahead and attack. They may block. They block, they have pre-war, and then I pierce it. Yeah, that works great. Actually, they can't even block this. I think it is correct to go ahead and plow now. And my reasoning is they could have something to blink it later. Or they could have like a Meteor Sword or some equipment to put in, which would be annoying because I don't have the mana to bounce this Cryptic Coat back to hand. I need them to cast a non-creature spell here. Witch Enchanter. They shocked that in, by the way. Skyclave. That can take out the coat. I still have the body. Yeah, that's fine. If I draw a land, I have Lorien revealed. I think that's worth taking an organic draw rather than doing this. I don't need any more islands. Come on, land. Flow state. Yeah, actually that works. Let's go ahead and flow state. Okay, so this is not great. I'll take the... I need the plains, so I'll take the Vista here, and I'll take the other Lorien. And we should be able to draw a lot of cards here. I am going to attack for 2. I don't really care if they attack me. I'm the beatdown here. They are the one that is ticking up toward Yorion domination, which could happen as soon as next turn. I've made my land drop. I'm just going to chill. They Spell Pierce. Give me something to pierce. That's great. If I just have the Lorien revealed, maybe I draw enough cards. Wow, they're on 3 colors. Come on, cast a non-creature. Thalia, that actually does make Lorien like harder to cast. I actually do need the Lorien cycle now. They put Yorion in hand. Okay, that's going to be a big pain. And now this can't attack anymore. Okay, but they're not attacking because they're respecting the fact that this might flip over into something good. Grab an island. Also going to go ahead and grab a plains here while I'm shuffling. Okay, and now we can play a land and we can Lorien, but they're going to get a lot of value here. Okay, Brainstorm. I don't like it. I'm going to go ahead and just Lorien here. Draw what I can, because they could be playing like Spirit of the Labyrinth or something like that. Okay, and I got a flow state. I've got lots of gas, but the problem is Thalia taxes, but the solution is just have tons of mana, which I do. All right, are we going to get Yorion here? Yorion could Skyclave and blow up non-token. This is technically non-token. This could get blown up. They're going to know I don't have force, but I'm going to F6 anyway because my clock is deer. Blowing up their own land, that's fine. That's all they do? No attacks? Okay, so I don't have anything to return with this pre-war. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a plains, and then I'm going to flow. It's going to cost 3 mana, which is a fortune. But I need cards to do stuff. Stoneforge and a force. Those seem good. Go and jam our Stoneforge. I still have Spell Pierce up if they have like a plow. I do want to use the ability. Let's get the last equipment on our deck, the Meteor Sword, which we can just straight up hardcast at this point. Not really, though, because of Thalia. And we're just going to chill. So I will force... I'll force pitch Spell Pierce when they attempt to Yorion here. They probably want to do that because they want to flicker out this Skyclave. I'll take the 2 in the air. That's no problem. I'll just take this damage. I've got lots of life. I think they're going to go for Yorion here. But they could just keep like stacking value. If they have more ETB triggers. There was the option of letting Stoneforge die, so I would have a pre-war target, but I actually don't think that's that important. I think what I'll do is I'm going to start blowing up their stuff, probably starting with Skyclave. Yeah, here comes Yorion. And there goes Yorion. All right. So that was like their big inevitable endgame. And now their future is less certain. All right, another Stoneforge. Not really what I wanted to see. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put the Meteor Sword in. I'm going to blow up Thalia because she's annoying. Now, I have the mana to Brainstorm. I can put Pre-War back and then play the Stoneforge out, shuffle it, turn it into a real card. Pre-War goes back. I think Pierce goes back. Now I'll go ahead and get the Stoneforge out. Just immediately upgrade that Pre-War into, I guess, another card. I can attack for 2 here. So I have Force. Okay, interesting. They're trading that off. Wait, do they still have the Pre-War in hand that they grabbed a long-ass time ago? They do, so I'm going to have to force that now. Otherwise, they get the Skyclave back. Yeah. But I get my token. Yeah, I think... Spell Pierce wouldn't help me with the Pre-War because they have so much mana. Next turn, I can equip Meteor Sword. They have a Comical Wasteland that does nothing against me. Pre-War gets forced. Oh, wait. The 4 mana? What are they doing? Thalia's fine. Witch Enchanter to blow up my Meteor Sword. Do I actually care about this? Not really. It's gotten value, but I can equip it. And this is another body. I think they're running low enough that I'm just going to do this. This may seem greedy. Let me know if you disagree with this play. No, wait. They have Pre-War. They have Pre-War. I don't want to do this. I'm going to let them do this. Because Pre-War could get back lots of nasty stuff. I need to stop that. Okay. I think in the instep, I'm supposed to just go ahead and plow the Thalia. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have... Well, I do have Blink in Jane Forrester, but she's a ways away. Do I want to take this 2 in the air? I'm not crazy, am I? They no, the Pre-War is in... yeah, it's in their hand. It's not in exile. Yeah, so it is correct for me to hold it. Okay. And I've got so much life that I think I'm just going to plow the Thalia in the instep just to maximize mana. Because now I can hold up Force and plow. Or, and activation. Putting in Pre-War. So I'll take that damage. Okay. Any further game actions before we move on to the next turn? I just want to make sure. All right. Let's go ahead and plow here. I will pay. Okay. Okay. Solitude is great. I could just wait. Wait, if I go ahead and Solitude now, I can kill this. Yeah, I think it's fine. All right. And now they don't even have blockers, and I can attack for an extra damage. I don't really care about the White Orchid Phantom. Again, it does nothing. The fact that it flies is the only salient property of it. I can end step the Pre-War and then just equip and gain tons of life off Solitude. So this is a Pre-War, I presume. Oh, another Thalia. You got it. So in a way, like I've just been kind of enabling Thalia every turn. Unfortunately, this does mean that I have to pay mana and force, but it is a price I'm willing to pay. Now they're stuck with like virtually no hand. They do get their 2 damage. I've got really good attacks here. I'll just pre-war, and then I'll equip. They don't attack. Okay. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and just pre-war. Now I'm going to pay to equip it here. This is 5-4. Actually, damn, I just punted. I can't attack with that. I'll attack with this, and this will kill at least one of them. But yeah, I punted. They don't have good... They do have good attacks in White Orchid Phantom. Yeah, but I forgot these are both first strike, so they would have killed my Solitude even with pre-war. So I should have equipped this, for sure. I punted. But a lot of this is just me making decisions very quickly because this match is extremely clock intensive. We're still in game 1, and I'm already down to 13 minutes. Part of that is because I went to brew tea. I know, I bring it upon myself. If they have just like a plow for my Solitude or something like that, it's pretty backbreaking because my creatures are just smaller than theirs, fundamentally. I think I'm supposed to hold this Ponder. Okay, they double block. Oh, man, you know what? That was another punt. I don't know why it didn't occur to me. Like, oh, of course, that's going to die to double strike too. Or first strike. Yeah, I punted. So bad. They have good attack with White Orchid Phantom, but that opens them up to Retribution with the Solitude. Sanctifier and Vec. That doesn't do anything against me. That's fine. Exile. Okay, yeah, it doesn't make any difference. It's just like a sideboard card that doesn't line up against my deck. Okay. So, how do I ever actually kill them when they have these creatures? Back to basics sucks. I'm going to pay extra mana, and I'm going to try to convert into, like, if I can find a plow, I can blow them up. Blow them out, rather. I think this Mighty Jane Forrester is worth keeping. Planes doesn't matter. Is there any reason not to play this? They could have, like, the... Yeah, I am going to play it. And this is like an engine, at least. Blocks them in the air. All right. So this is going to be a grinder. But I'm not going to punt here. Let's pass. Now I can start attacking and blinking my pre-war. Unfortunately, I don't have any creatures in my graveyard. Please don't have a freaking Karakas. That would just be so annoying at this point. They have Solitude. That sucks. So that's definitely taking her out. I gained 3 life. They still don't have good attacks. Actually, they do. No, they don't really. Like, I'll happily trade this Solitude off. I'm going to attack. So I'm drawing Force. Yeah, my deck kind of lines up poorly against their deck, too, for what it's worth. So I am going to attack with the Solitude, trade for as many cards as I can. They want to block. I presume they're going to block. Okay. I will take out the Thalia. Sure. And then I'll gain 5 life. And now we're going to move the equipment over to pre-war. Or, removing the pre-war over to here. We no longer have Hardcast Force, but that's okay. I want to have a blocker to dissuade their Solitude from coming in. We have tons of life. I can't have 6 here. I'm going to force whatever this is, probably. Looks like a pretty big spell that I want to force. Yeah. No thanks. Because they can equip that every turn. Okay, we're both Hellbent. They have a flyer. I don't. I can come in with Solitude. Yeah, I'll just come in with... yeah, I'm going to start hitting them. I think they might be winning the race here because they have a Solitude. I don't. I can attack for 3. Come on. Okay, we knew we were drawing that. Okay. And then I'll just hold it. Because I might draw a Brainstorm that can convert this into a meaningful card. They're top decking. I'm F6. They rip a freaking heck of a card. I think this game's over. What do they get back? Skyclave to blow up my pre-war? I correctly predicted, even though I punted, just let it know that like I'm seeing lines. It's just that I'm not seeing... They're going to move it over to Solitude so they can gain more life. I'm going to concede. I actually don't think that there's a clear path to victory from here. Because they're going to gain so much life, and I'm worried about my clock. I think this is like a bad matchup for us, frankly. Okay. All right, and you can see like I lost all that time. This is just lag. Like I literally just can't win in there, and it's like you've got 2 minutes, and your sideboard is not loading. Okay, so Wrath of the Sky seems pretty good here. Back to Basics is terrible. We won't play that. Spell Pierce is also terrible. I think Consign might be... Or a Containment Priest is a beater that also potentially like stops certain things from happening. It is detrimental to our deck. I don't think we bring it in. Consign can stop certain triggers. It's not great. But it's probably better than Spell Pierce or Back to Basics here. Yeah, I just don't know. I think this is a horrible matchup for us. It's probably like a 40-60, maybe like a 35-65. I guess I will bring in Containment Priest. I think I'd rather have Containment Priest than 2 Consigns, so I'll do it like that. And I don't think that punt... Well, we attacked with that thing. Yeah, I don't think the punt was that big of a deal. I think we were still unfavored. Like, the fact that they have multiple pre-wars, I mean, it's absolutely insane card. The best equipment ever printed. But it's so dead against so many decks. This is not a keep, I don't think. We need a blue source. My entire mana base is constructed around the notion of us having a blue source. This is fine. We don't have a white source, but we'll figure it out. Card that goes back is going to be a Lorien. I want to keep action. A Lorien is just here to really turn on flow state more than anything. It's an ETB tap land. Functionally is how I think of it. So I can wait and brainstorm in the instep, and then I can upkeep Lorien Revealed. I think that sees the most cards. And then if we find a plains, we can keep it. And this Containment Priest is not good. I definitely do want to upgrade it into something else. They have a slow, dirtily start. I think because of the lag and also the fact that, oh man, this is ugly. I'm putting back Consign, and I'm putting back a Containment Priest. Yeah, because now I have to go to upkeep and Lorien cycle before my draw, so I can increase the likelihood of drawing like actual cards that do things. Yeah, the lag is really hitting me here. Okay. Sorry to be a whiner. You can see it just like it's been spinning for like quite a few seconds. I may just have to stop recording and come back to record like a lower peak time. Okay, so my mana base, by the way, is 5 islands and 4 plains. And I'm playing 4 plains because there's no real way to find them other than the 8 fetches. But blue is much more important as a color. So now I can play this. And I probably just Lorien Revealed again next turn to keep the land flowing, and then I can flow state, assuming they don't wipe my graveyard. And hopefully flow state, which will net us 2 cards, will show us a plains. And if we find a brainstorm, we can put this pre-war back. That's fine. That would have been one of the few targets for Consign. Every single time I pass priority, it's like 20 seconds. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just do this now because I want my mana untapped. All right, so we get a draw. Plains would be great, but I think flow state's totally reasonable here. I'm going to go ahead and do this first. Come on, respond. Okay, we found the plains and a Stoneforge. That's fine. I can't do both here, but I will. Maybe I should just ponder here because at least I can like line up something, and then next turn I can white source, Stoneforge. I mean, these are great cards. Yeah, I definitely want these. I'll take the plows first. I'll actually draw, and then I'll draw a plow, and then I'll draw another plow during my upkeep, and then I'll Stoneforge to Prismatic Vista will shuffle my deck. I have to have 6 here. It's just like I have to give away because I'm down to 8 minutes. I got to win 2 games, which is not going to happen, by the way. This is the last round, a lost round. If you don't want to watch me struggle with my clock, please skip to the next round. Please do not stop watching the video. This is going to be an exciting video. We're playing a really sweet deck. It's just unfortunate the lag's hitting me, and that also this extremely turn intensive. Like I think every matchup between Stoneforge, Stoneblade, and Death and Tax probably goes to like at least turn 10, turn 12. Recruiter. Again, like this is one of the reasons people say you should play Consign is you can like consign triggers like this, but like they already got the value. They did find a Stoneforge. So we're drawing a second plow. I am going to go ahead and Stoneforge, and then I'll just flow state. I could do it in the other order. Let's go ahead and flow state or Stoneforge, and I think this is very much just the blue card for force because I don't want to pitch a. Yeah, and I'll try to blow up their vial later, but it's not like a high priority right now. Let's see if we can find a force. I mean, Containment Priest is really good. Solitude, yeah. So we have lots of interaction if they try to do anything too crazy here. Like Ophelia would be something that is over the line in terms of what I can accept. Containment Priest will be good, but I don't have a way to protect it. This plow is good. This is a 2-for-1. They're going to attack him for 1. They can just Stoneforge in the instep. All right, let's draw a plains. I really need a white source. Force is not bad. I'm not going to complain about that. Okay, so options. I think we Stoneforge again. Actually, I kind of think we just Containment Priest. And then we pass. That at least gets me down below the number of cards that I need. They're activating now. Yeah, maybe I should have waited. Yeah, that was actually a punt because I could have just done that when they put that on the stack. Now they do get their Stoneforge Mystic. They're going to go get the Meteor Sword. and then I have to Solitude the Stoneforge because I just haven't found a second white source. Again, this does happen when you're playing lots of basics like me, and you don't have to play all basic mana base. You can just spend, you know, $3,000 or $4,000 and buy a bunch of Tundras. That's okay too. I just want to emphasize, there's nothing wrong. I'm going to pitch the pre-war here. I don't have any targets, and also this Containment Priest shuts it off. I have zero interest in never letting Containment Priest die, by the way. So let's go ahead and hit Stoneforge, sadly. This way we can stop that sword from coming in if we need to. But I'm being attacked from several angles right now. So I have force to stop them playing the thing. But then I don't have any way to defend my Containment Priest, which is currently holding back, 7 cards in their hand. So sadly, this does need to be forced. And now we have to figure out a way to deal with that sword of protection from white, which I believe that's what they got there. Oh, Solitude too. Yeah. I'm going to scoop it up. This is kind of a hopeless slog. We can plow. The issue is that this equipment, like, as games go long, this is just going to absolutely be devastating. I don't have a way to deal with this. This just completely solos my deck. And normally it wouldn't be an issue against most decks. Like, this kind of card is like not even playable legacy-wise, but it is in their deck, and it is going to win them this matchup, and they are rewarded for assuming that they might run into fair decks, which doesn't happen very often, but it happened here. Round 3, we're 1-1. We're up against likely Tempo Gamer, which I like, as a blue-white deck. Like, we're like basically the kryptonite of blue-white of Tempo decks. And I can lead with this Pierce, which is very nice because I can just stop whatever they try to do here. Nice 1-for-1. They're a fan of the channel. I'll play this out. They don't know what I have. It is possible they're on Stifle Pup, so I am going to go ahead and grab the blue source. I would hate to lose because their Stifle was live when I could have just fetched around it. They said, Wasteland-proof Minister. Pretty much. That's like my entire thing. It's like back to basics is my power animal. All right. We're going to pass. Okay, they're fetching. Again, if this is like a Spell Pierce or a Thoughtseize. Okay, it's a blue. Ponder. I'm just going to pierce that. I know that may seem weird, but like I want to get instants in my graveyard for flow state here. I actually am totally fine if they daze this. I may want to be able to shuffle if I find a fetch, because Solitude's not looking too good here. Okay, and I did find the fetch, so pre-war definitely goes back. That's not going to do any good. And I could definitely put back this Solitude here. I don't want to put back the land. I want to continue to develop. Yeah, I'll keep one Solitude. Play this out. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and fetch now. Again, like, just respecting the possibility that they're on Stifle Pup. They haven't shown me any reason to not be on Stifle Pup. They're playing Scalding Charm, which is frequently played in Jeskai builds. We'll pass. This does tell them that I don't have a follow-up Pierce, though. And next turn, we just start going into Flow State Heaven. Got Force of Will if I absolutely need it. I'm not even sure what I would force here, other than, like, combo cards. Okay, Flooded Strand. Tamiyo. I'm not going to force that. All right, so now I definitely don't want this to get dazed, so I am going to go ahead and play out the Plains, because that would be pretty devastating to have my flow state dazed when I can get... Oh, no, I don't have the second... I don't have a sorcery. I'm only going to get one card. All right, well, what card do I want? I think it's Mighty Jane Forcer, just because like I could pitch her to Solitude here if I need to. Crypticoat is very good at attacking down. I think I'm going to get Jane. I'm going to trust in her. And next one is going to be a good flow state. But I'm not going to Solitude this with Jane. I'm going to trust in Jane. I actually really want to resolve Jane. So I can force like a Brainstorm, I guess, which feels bad. Yeah, for some reason I thought like I'd Lorient or something like that, but I haven't. So I didn't get the good flow state. The flow was weak. All right, and they didn't play a land, so they don't have Kaito. So we don't know whether they're blue-white or blue-black yet. Rolling Dragonstorm. I love your deck, friend. Rather than forcing this, I do think it's probably worth just pitching and clearing this. I know it sucks to go down a card, but like this flips her. I mean, I think I'm just going to force it. I have flow state next turn. If we do get into a fight over this, I can always pitch, but I'm going down so many cards. Okay, and they didn't have a subsequent, but next turn they can just flip manually, so we're far from clear. All right, let's go find a plow here and a force. That'd be the ideal, or a pierce, a land. So now, okay, this is fantastic. So I'm going to take the wait, yeah. I'm going to take, you always check here, put 2 cards in your hand. You don't screw up. Okay, and then this Lorien revealed. Do we want it? It's probably better than Ponder here. The main issue is I'm going to plow, and they could have a Brainstorm, and then I have to Solitude to stop the madness. I do need to plow but then they may have days. It's ugly. I actually think I'd take the Lorien here just because I can upkeep Lorien, get another land, get closer to Hardcast Solitude. And I am just going to do this now. I could have waited. I could have absolutely waited till they fetched and gone for it. Do they have the Brainstorm? They have it. Okay. So I'm letting the Brainstorm go on the stack, and they're probably thinking it's clear, and then I'm going to Solitude with the Tamiyo trigger on the stack. It sucks to do this, by the way. And if they have days, it's like devastating, but I can't imagine them keeping days here. I just don't want to deal with... I don't want to play Tamiyo minigames. They're no fun. If they force here, they're down 2 cards, but like Tamiyo is all the card advantage in the world. It sucks using 3 cards to try to remove one drop, but that is the Tamiyo life. We're not playing Tamiyo ourselves, so we get to complain about her today. But normally I am playing her, so just note that I'm a hypocrite. All right, Tamiyo's down. She flips into Oblivion. We whiff. All right, so we're drawing fresh cards. I also have a Brainstorm if we draw a brick to convert that brick into something that does something. So expensive, but again, that is just showcasing the flexibility of Thor in that she is a blue and a white card, so she can pitch either way. Just like Thor can go either way, gender swapping, apparently. Okay, so we're coming in here with a Ponder. They would have had the mana to flip her manually this turn. They're playing very well. I'll put it this way: like they held back the Brainstorm. They didn't fetch. Like I'm playing poorly and they're playing well. Let's put it that way. This is like the Plains is like the back of a giant bird, I guess. Very cool art. Yeah, I went down so many cards there because I've forced and I've Solitude and I was on the play and they got like a 2-for-1 off Tamiyo. All right, let's okay, yeah, that's good. So I'm gonna Brainstorm first. Don't have Hull Breacher, or I will happily scoop and pat you on the back for playing Hull Breacher. Okay, so I don't need both of these lands, and I probably don't need this Brainstorm. Brainstorm is better than Ponder at this point. Well, let's think about this. I mean, I could go for Lorien. It's 2 turns away. Yeah, I'll put the Lorien on top. I'll play this out, and if I don't have anything else to do, I guess I could go for Lorien. Like, we might get into a weird stalemate. This does mean that I'm not advancing my board any. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and Ponder, and I'm gonna try to find a plow. I don't think they have days, so if I can find exactly Stoneforge Mystic, then I can get a 2-for-1 because I desperately need 2-for-1s. I did get a 2-for-1 off Flow State. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll shuffle these 3 lands. Come on. Give me a card that does something. Please, deck. All right. Lorien Revealed is not terrible because if... yeah. I could just cast it if I brick and draw a land. And they'll almost certainly counter it. Okay, they have Felia. Yep, she is a strong dog. And now they may also have... Oh, they don't have anything. They're just attacking. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's not the end of the world. Tamiyo's back. Don't love to see that. So Tamiyo will flip next turn if I just Lorien and do nothing else. But I could Lorien into like a Solitude to clear Tamiyo. You're going to go ahead and do something else here. Crack. Okay. They have Flow State. They may not be playing Flow State, depending on what they're doing over there. I don't like this. I don't think it's good enough. I'm going to Brainstorm. Try to find 2 plows, I guess. Well, there's a Stoneforge. That is what I was looking for earlier. Back to basics just isn't good enough here. I don't think mana is going to be the bottleneck. Lorien shuffles, but Stoneforge shuffles as well. So I'm just going to take all the Stoneforges here. And we're going to try to go get the sword. Because if they are killing this, they're killing it in a way that it is exiled. So I'll get Meteor Sword here. And then I can Meteor Sword next turn and kill the Tamiyo that way. That's like basically our game plan. That Brainstorm was pretty good, huh? Because we got to shuffle immediately. Like, that's one of the great things. That's why one of the reasons Jeskai historically has gravitated towards Stoneforge is you get like the redundant equipments and you just shuffle it back in. Like Brainstorm and Stoneforge are so synergistic together. Not quite as synergistic as Brainstorm and Tamiyo, but still. Yeah, that's fine. 2-for-1. Can we dodge the Riddler? I think if they have the Riddler, I probably have to concede. I know like a lot of people might be like saying I'm conceding prematurely a lot, but I know the reach of this deck, like, and I know how much clock it takes to win. Okay, they're putting a... Yeah, that's fine. Brainstorm on top. So they can use that next turn to flip Tamiyo. Wait, they can flip her this turn, actually, because they create a clue. Yeah, it's annoying. Okay, I think I'm going to concede here. Gosh, what are the odds that we can get there? I think they're going to get 3 cards here. They're going to flip their Tamiyo. I don't think there's a path forward. I'd rather just have good games 2 and 3. Okay, so against this deck, Wrath of the Skies is an option. It's not a great option. I don't think we want it. Actually, I don't think we sideboard at all. Let's do it. My sideboard is not built for this. You might say, like, oh, but in certain circumstances, yes. But trust in your main deck configuration for the most part. Like, they have creatures. They have spells. They have lots of stuff I can pierce. I don't think that pierce was bad at all, because we could have drawn a Lorien and we could have gotten in the zone for both of those. And it was just like a clean 1-for-1. And you often take those against an unknown matchup. This does get worse as the game progresses. You know, there's an argument for taking up back to basics here and bringing in Wrath. I think I'm going to do that because that can wipe out clues. Maybe catch up. No, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I think I'm going to bring in Forces because, like, the game goes long and this can, like, stop something later game. I just don't think back to basics is where we want to be. They know I'm Mr. Back to Basics and they'll probably expect it. And I know that, again, people are going to be like, Consign, play Consign. It stops so many things. It doesn't stop enough. I think Consign is heavily overboarded, just like Surgical is heavily overboarded. Graveyard Hate is often heavily overboarded against my decks that barely use their graveyard at all. You just have to accept that, like, okay, sometimes people are going to get beneficial flow states, and that doesn't mean you should bring in a crappy card in the matchup, for example. Force of Negation is good against almost every deck. The exceptions being the D&T deck that we just faced and the Eldrazi deck we just faced. But it's very good against their deck. Their deck's probably at least, 20 non-creature spells. Okay, this hand is keepable. It's sketchy, but I'm not going to mull against this deck. Like, you generally don't want to mull against their deck. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to assume they're on full-on Stifle Pup, and the Stifle is a very real threat, and I'm going to just take the Prismatic Vista, Island. Then we're going to take an Organic Draw, and then we're going to attempt to Brainstorm. And there is a risk that they have Daze, but I don't think they're actually playing Daze. They could be playing Spell Pierce. But if they're on Stifle Pup proper, they are likely playing 3 Dazes alongside their Stifles. We didn't see Stifle, but I'm just going to presume it's in there. It's better to play around Stifle and them not have Stifle than to not play around Stifle and them have Stifle. That's absolutely catastrophic, especially when you're keeping a 1-laner. And I can already see if this goes wrong, people are going to be in the comments like telling me that I shouldn't have kept this 1-laner. But I will stand by this. Like, regardless of what happens, you do generally want to keep 1-laners that have like 2 cantrips in this type of matchup where like every card matters. So I have 16 lands. Now I'll have 15 lands left that I'm drawing to, plus Lorien Revealed. 19 total effects. I think if Tamiyo makes an appearance here, I'm going to go ahead and Brainstorm. I might as well Brainstorm now because I was going to Brainstorm anyway. Because I need to have this blue up when I attempt to Solitude her next turn. Okay, this is great. So I actually... Flow State will be live in like 1 turn. So that's not bad at all. Lorien costs mana. I don't really want to pay for that. So I think I can put back the Lorien, and then I fetch the Plains, and then I plow with Daze Protection, and then I also have Solitude. I would like to keep this 3rd land. I think I'm going to put back the Brainstorm. Maybe just draw a Lorien for the turn. I think that's totally fine. And then I have land number 3. Okay, but I am going to plow this. And then, like, I don't have a force to protect, but I need to get her gone. I don't want to deal with her, because we're early enough in the game that she will generate a lot of value. My daughter is being very whiny because she wants to get a milk tea. Hang on, let me go tell her to not be whiny. Okay. I'll get the Plains here. And I would like to stick the Stoneforge, but let's just be chill. This is a clean window to attempt to plow here. And then I've got double Stoneforge if I really need to Solitude here. Okay, and I didn't have to let them untap with it. And I have the end step Lorien cycle for the 3rd land. Shuffling away a brainstorm, but still fine. I could absolutely have avoided Stifle here, because then I'll be forced to draw the brainstorm, but it's not that big of a deal. They ponder, and that's fine. I'm not going to fight that. They may be low resource in terms of lands. Okay, and they are tapped out. They don't have lands, so this should be a victory. We should win from here, as long as I don't screw it up somehow. Let's see if I can screw it up somehow. Like, we're very far ahead. We're about to flow state. Do I even want to flow state, or do I just want to jam a Stoneforge around days? I think I do want to flow state, because I might find a Spell Pierce, and that could stop their next cantrip. I've got a bunch of Spell Pierces in my deck. Would you like to force this? And you want to be very careful not to turn on days when your opponent, like, definitely doesn't have a second land, if that makes sense. So I'm fine with getting lands out of my deck. I'll take this, and this plow is great. We'll pass. Next turn I have Stoneforge, and I can hold up plow plus days. I can even Mighty Jane Forester, and then blink a Stoneforge when I attack. I'm going to assume my first threat is going to eat a plow, though, and I'd rather that be a Stoneforge than a Mighty Jane Forester. I'm just going to call her that. Foster, not Forster. Sorry, my excellent friends. I will figure out how to pronounce her name one of these days. Okay, Force Negation is great. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do this. Wait, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and attempt to fetch first and see if that eats the Stifle. They may not even have a Stifle. Please force this. You don't want to deal with the Stoneforge, right? Okay, I guess they are cool with dealing with Stoneforge. So this is going to go get the... Okay, they're going to consign that. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and attempt it again. Why not? You want to consign a second time? And this is what I was talking about. Like, consign is good in theory, but it's not actually that spectacular in practice, because it just means that, like, okay, you 2-for-1'd yourself there. And now they're forcing, which is fine. And now what I do is next turn I Mighty Jane Foster. I'm just Mighty Jane Foster. Next turn I'll Thor. I'll start saying Thor. That's a little easier to say. And then I can start blinking this and going and getting cool value spells. And if they play out a creature, I will have the plow ready. Again, like, I would have to screw up pretty badly to lose from this position. Yeah, they pitched a Murktide there. Not a great card against my deck, frankly. Wasteland. Okay, they do have a land. All right. Land drop. I think I just do Thor. And I have plow. And I'm not going to attack into a potential dog. I'll just chill. I don't think they would have forced if they had a plow, but they might have. One of the reasons I'm doing this now, she doesn't have flash, unfortunately. And also, yeah, now they have to deal with, if they do have dog, they can't really attack into this, so they'll have to blink this instead of whatever beneficial thing they want to blink. So I'm going to set a stop. I'm going to plow this in their end step. Am I? Yes. Because if they have force negation, I want them to have to pitch cast instead of being able to, like, get it for, like, hard cast. Okay, it's gone. That's huge. And we're actually in cast solitude, blink solitude territory. If Thor sticks around, the game's probably over. Like, just even a single attack with Thor will be devastating. I hope they play out a Murktide or some... They're unlikely to play out a Murktide, but if they played out a Murktide or some sort of creature, I would be ready with Solitude, and then I can just start blinking the Solitude every turn. I'm not convinced that they're playing Daze. I haven't seen a single Daze or a Stifle, so they may just be playing like a big kind of control-y deck. We haven't seen Stoneforge from their side, have we? That was the previous round. Okay, they're fetching. This is probably a plow. And unfortunately, my Solitude is not paired with a blue card. I was hoping to find a Spell Pierce earlier, because it would be really strong here. They tap colorless. Okay, Rolling Dragonstorm's fine. Just don't find a plow, please. So, because they're playing Rolling Dragonstorm, I presume they're playing like 3 or 4 Murktides. But, like, Murktide is so bad against my deck. Okay, we're going to get to go to our turn, which is great. I can untap. I have Force Negation for the removal. I will play my land, sure. Let's go ahead and attack. They can consign this coming back. No, they can't. All right, so we'll go ahead and blink her. She comes back instantly. It's not an end step thing. So now I get to go get the thing. I'm just going to go get the blue one. If I get pre-war, then I have Solitude up, in addition to Force. I don't really want to get Cryptic Coat because I play that I tap out of Force Negation. Cryptic Coat is the better of the two cards. I think I get Meteor Sword here. Yeah. And then I'll just chill. I won't do anything. I'm not going to play her out. But like now, next turn I Meteor Sword, and then I just start flickering Meteor Sword, and the game ends very quickly. She is just like one of those like insane EDH cards that like if she sticks around, and this is what the definition of the 3-drop in Legacy is a card that basically ends the game by itself. I think if your 3-drop is not able to essentially end the game by itself, then it's not good enough. All right, what are we doing over here? I don't have the mana to... So I think this might be a Solitude on the Riddler itself, so they don't get a second card. And I'm intentionally holding up white to make it look like I have... yeah, I don't want them to get 2 cards here. Make them think I have a Plow as well, but I don't actually. So they did get 1 card there. That's pretty good, but they're dead. Like, this is what death looks like. So we'll just go ahead and put this in. I get a card because Thor is insane. Okay, yeah. How does this work? Let's go ahead and target their dog, I guess. I could go after the land. Draw a card. I will play this out. Now I have the ability to Force Negate. Now I attack. And they are correct to make me play my clock. But I mean, I'm going to draw another card. Like this game is incredibly over. And I'm happy to showcase just how insane this card is. I'm actually really glad. Like even though I am kind of under clock pressure because of the lag, it is cool to showcase just how powerful this is. I'll go after their non-basic there. And I get another card. And at this point, I can just do so many different things. I'm just going to pass, though, because I value my clock. They're at 15. They can play the guy out of Warp, but I'll just kill him really quick. And because Meteor Sword comes in, like, there's no, like, blocking or anything. Like, that's just that, basically. They could bounce Rolling Dragonstorm back to hand if they have a Murktide, which may be what they're doing here. They don't have the blue to redeploy because I went after the blue. I could just pitch, Solitude, or, like, use the Solitude trigger, but Meteor Sword is so much more efficient. Right? You get that card back. You have a blue card for Force, but I have Force covered. Alright. So here, I'll Plow. I'll just Force to negate it. And that should be the game. But again, we can keep playing. That's fine. So I am going to go to combat here. And now I'm going to blink the Meteor Sword. Meteor Sword comes in. Kills Murktide, draws me a card. I mean, what a freaking card. This was definitely designed with Stoneblade in mind. Sadly, I could run out of clock for the next turn, just because, next game, just because. Yeah, but we know what they're in their hands, so I can F6 from here. I'm not going to do anything. I'll just wait. They are super duper dead. Like, even if they, yeah, that's fine. I should keep a Spell Piercer, just in case. I can fetch and pierce something. I don't know what they could have here. Ponder to the yard. That's fine. I've gotten so much value out of it. Are they dead next turn? They're not quite. All right, I'm just going to draw. Again, I'm just playing quickly because of my clock. I'm playing suboptimally. Don't play as I'm doing. Let's gain a bunch of life here. Let's go ahead and attack. Okay. Yeah, and they were mercifully, like, not making me continue to play. Yeah, I think this is correct. Based on everything I've seen, I think Force Negation is actually really powerful here. It was good there. Like, it was just like an insurance policy. But Spell Pierce is great too. I don't think that we want the back to basics. We saw plenty of basics there. I would say, like, if you can lock them out of all but like 2 lands in their deck, then back to basics meets the threshold of good enough. But if you can't, then you probably don't want it. Pre-war is a little bit janky, but like, it is nice to be able to just get something and shuffle it back in. But like their exile base, we're almost never gonna have anything in our graveyard. Pre-war is like an argument for playing Tamiyo because she's a creature that frequently dies and actually dies and not just getting exiled because they'll be killing the Planeswalker version, and so you can just keep bringing her back. She's so good with pre-war. Okay, this hand's fine. This has a blue source, assuming they don't stifle me, and actually it has a second blue source. It just doesn't do anything for the first few turns, but that's okay. Main thing I'm looking for with this deck is just mana. If you haven't noticed, that's the theme in like all my videos. I am a huge believer in just having really good mana. Okay, that's annoying. We'll have to figure out a way to deal with that. we do have answers to it, but you know, they almost certainly have all 4 of them in their deck. So I'm just going to go get an island here. I'm going to ponder and just start the flow state party. Looking for maybe a Solitude. No, I don't have a blue card, so Solitude won't work. I could brainstorm actually here and then shuffle in the upkeep. That way I could find Solitude. If I find Solitude, it's worth using it. I'm going to brainstorm. This may seem suboptimal, but again, I have the Lorien. So I kind of telegraphed that I had Lorien. And they could stifle and cause me to have these. Yeah, it sucks. But actually, I'm getting another island in the upkeep, so I'll just do that. And we'll pass. I've seen 0... like, I might have to force to stop her from flipping just because we're so far from being able to deal with her. She is an insane card. And again, I'm unilaterally disarming myself because I just want to play Stoneblade. But like, I do think that their deck is favored over ours. Don't have it, please. Crack the clue and pass the turn. Don't make me force it. Okay, that's very good for us. All right, please do not have a stifle because I don't really want to draw those cards. I mean, it's not the end of the world if I have to draw them. Okay. Yeah, it's much better if I can, you know, potentially find like a Stoneforge or a Plow or any number of other good cards. Another Brainstorm. Well, I will be playing this out. And then now I can Panic Brainstorm if I really need to win a Tamiyo flipping counter. All right, she's just going to crack the clue here. I have to imagine they're getting basics out of respect for back to basics, but I am not rocking it right now for the reasons that I mentioned during the sideboarding. I love the Rolling Dragonstorm deck, and if you want to watch some videos of me playing it, I played it. It was in a different era. It was like a year ago, but yeah. And they did get the basic, which is great for me because it reduces their flexibility a little bit. And like in their position, it's not actually correct to flip her aggressively because I could be playing Prismatic Ending, which like essentially dramatically reduces the value that they get. All right, and I'm just going to take a natural draw here. I'm not going to try to Brainstorm Accelerate. Now I am going to Brainstorm because like these cards I've been ripping are such bricks. I want to get a fetch. Okay, and I get the fetch that I wanted. This is great. I'll put back this island. And I think I put back a Plains too. Then I can just fetch and get a Plains. And then I'm going to ponder. And I'm going to hope to find a Plow off the ponder so that when they do try to flip, I can be ready with some sort of interaction. That's a shuffle. Yeah, that was a nice shuffle. Let's see if we get here. Solitude. Okay, so we do have an answer. It's going to take 4 cards, but we can stop her from flipping if we want to. And if we keep going, Solitude's quite a good card against their deck. If we just hard cast it out. 7 minutes on the clock to their 11. They come across. They've so far gotten, I think, 3 cards off this Tamiyo. It's very good. And this is what I mean. Like, people aggressively flip her, but like in a control mirror, you don't have to do that. Just take your time and a mass advantage. My opponent's very far ahead. Like, I would say the advantage bar is fully on their side. Okay, so here, I think this is just another Brainstorm. And again, I'm living in fear of them having like Hull Breacher or something crazy like that. Yeah, this sucks. So I'll put back these lands. Okay, and now I think I just Lorien Cycle, get an island, so I don't have to use the ponder. I'll play the island out, and I'll ponder, and this way I'm looking at 3 cards instead of just 1 card, effectively. And sure enough, there it is. That's what I want. I'll take the Solitude too, because it's on starting next turn. I'll take that, and we're going to basically just hope to start stamping out Solitudes on their threats. But we do need to clear the Tamiyo first. I think we have to go to their turn here. Yeah, I'm going to go to their turn. But the pause probably gave them pause. Like, oh, okay, they have a removal spell. And we haven't seen a single daze out of their deck. Like, they may just not be playing it. I don't know what they're playing instead of it. But the Murktides and the... yeah, I'm going to attempt to Plow here. And they may Brainstorm, which is fine. I'll just let them Brainstorm, and then I can Solitude, which I'm not happy about. But I don't want to give them yet another card. They've got 9 freaking cards in their hand. Do I really want to get into a freaking fight with this person? What? Holy cow. Okay, well, we denied them a card there. Tell me it was only like a 5 for 1 and not like a 10 for 1 or whatever. 30 for 1, which is what happens when she ultimates. Or just take it easy. Don't do anything too big. Play a card that I can Plow. Go to discard. I don't want to pick a force fight with a person who's about to go to discard. Even if they play like a a Riddler here, I'm totally fine with that. I am just very terrified of what they have in their hand. They must have tons of forces. Okay, they're going to go to discard. That's great for me. Discard a Wasteland. They could be completely flooded, I guess. All right. This is just like a chill. I'm going to start Solituding in the end step. And if I can trade a Solitude for a Force, that is groovy. I have Hardcast Force up too. They fetch. I don't get any F6 value because my entire hand is reactive. Okay. Consign to the yard. Mark. Sure. All right, and this is the first of my attempts at interacting. And if this works, then I have a threat. If this doesn't work, then I just untap, try it again. And I'm just going to try to gradually wear down their hand. Holy cow, are you serious? You can consign that. That's fine. I'm not going to fight a consign. I just want the body. The body's more important than the effect. Yeah, that's fine. So now they're down to 1, and they can't replicate, and I'm going to try to do it again. Land? Meteor Sword. I don't know. I may have actually known that was coming. And if I did, shame on me. I should have done something about it. Okay, you have another consign. I will actually just let you consign this too. If you have like the third consign, because we know they discarded one. Stifle. We could fight here. I think we fight because this clears it and we can start doing damage, and I'm worried about my clock. I'm going to pitch the Ponder. I'll keep the Force because I can hardcast it later. All right, we're coming in. I am coming out. I want the world to know. Got my solitudes to show. That's a horrible rendition of an incredible song. Incredible piece of songwriting, performance, everything. Check out that song. Sister Sledge. Now Davis on the guitar there. Now Rogers. Why did I say Nell Davis? Okay. And now, like, we've gotten some serious 2-for-1s. We're applying forward pressure. Got Force up. Got another Solitude if they try to jump in with the dog. They could Wrath our board. They're 1 mana away, 2 mana away from Wrathing these out. Oh my goodness. Is this how the game is going to end? This is crazy. But this is a testament to Solitude. Like, again, people sleep on Solitude. It's so freaking good. So freaking good. Yeah, sure. You can plow my Solitude. All right, and now we're up cards. We've still got pressure on the table. Sure, that's fine. I'm not going to fight that. I'm going to just pop in with another Solitude. I've still got 4 minutes to figure this out. All right, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to be patient. Okay, I think this is just a Meteor Sword. Just take one of your lands. Do you want to interact with this? They can consign the trigger or stifle it. But it's still an equipment just chilling on the table. They consign. They daze. They do have daze. Okay, well, whatever. All right. That's fine. It's a 1-for-1. They could have the dog here. They don't. Okay, they're just coming in with so they use that to get a surveil. That's fair. So I'm just looking for really any threat, like Thor, Stoneforge would be great. Do I even play this out? No, I chill. I've got Hardcast Force up. Solitude if they play a threat. I just don't want to. I don't want my Solitude for nothing. All right, Plow. Another 1-for-1 later. I mean, like, I'm so low on clock that they're definitely winning if we stay inactive. Please play something proactive so I can interact. Rolling Dragonstorm. That is quite good. I'm going to attempt to stop this. This is, 2-for-1 in a stalled out board state like this. And if they fight back, that's fine. Okay, they don't fight back. Threat. No threat. All right, we'll just chill. I know it's like unnerving to see my clock ticking down. I'm bleeding out here. I'm absolutely bleeding out, but I think it's totally fine. We'll see if I just bleed out completely. Watch that terrible Justin Timberlake movie about him like having a clock and time is money, like literally. That was the high concept of the movie. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a terrible movie, but like Justin Timberlake, come on. I mean, no shame. Okay. And here we go. I'm going to set the stop. And she resolves. And then now I get my 2-for-1 that I've been patiently waiting for. This is the payoff for my patience. Do you have the Force? Do you have yet another Stifle? Okay, you got the Plow. And my ability removes that too. 35 life on the table. All right, go ahead. You do you. Actually going to... Oh, yeah, that's annoying. All right, I am going to attempt to Plow in the end step. I've got a lot of these Plows burning a hole in my pocket. If you flip her, I will just concede probably. They don't flip her. Okay, good. I don't have to concede. Game 3, like the advantage bar was very much on their side. They drew so many freaking cards. I don't really want to play that out. I guess I play it out just... Who knows? Because I can use it to shuffle. I've got so many killer cards I'm drawing too, like Lorien Reveals and stuff. By the way, you might be wondering why I'm not playing Mystic Sanctuary. I don't want any non-basics in my deck, period. This is a rare situation where that is coming back to bite me. I'm aware of this. I have to F6 through their turns, sadly. Another Tamiyo. Let's do this now. They don't have Hardcast Force up. Okay, we got it. Again, 2 minutes on the clock, 15 life. Give me a threat deck. There we go. I'm just going to ram her out. Kill her if you must. They've used 3 of their likely 4 plows. There's the 4th plow. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to die at a time. Even with my extremely sprightly life total, they could survive many a Murktide. I'm not drawing cantrips. I'm not drawing 4th. Like, I've used 2 Lorien Revealed. I've got 29 cards left in my deck. That's gas. They're ripping through the deck now. I don't think I win, even if I had more time, because they've just seen so many additional cards beyond what I have. And it may not look like it. They're 28 cards. But, like, a lot of my cards were, like, I have 3 cards in hand, and 2 of them are complete bricks. They have 7 cards. Or 6 cards now. They actually discarded a Brainstorm. That's how juicy their hand is. There's no way that I'm winning, but I'm going to try. Cryptic Coat. And if they just force this, there's nothing to be done here. Because that's like a win con. But like if they don't force it, I can bring it back and keep trying it. They should force this. I'm really running low on win cons. I've got, I think, 2 Thors left. Okay, we're in. Okay, that's good. I'm just going to go ahead and fetch. I'm just going to put a bunch of cards out there. Sure, whatever. I'm not thinking too hard. I'm just doing my thing. Daze is back on. Not really, but kind of. All right, Crypticoat's back. F6. You can deal with it or you can't. They should have forced it the first time. 1 minute, 23 seconds. They forced the second time. Okay, so we do have a body, but it's not going to matter. And I have to just F6 through this turn. I actually am not going to F6. Unfortunately, like if they have days, they have days. I don't want them to kill my dude. F6. I have nothing left. You win the game if you can stop this. They have a Hardcast Force. They blink my dude. My dude is dead. I don't think there's a path forward. Sorry, I know these are like excruciating. Magic the Gathering. They can't actually blink my dude. They blink that. Well, I am going to take off the table. I think that's correct, even at this low life total. Like, I'm not going to get 14 damage just with this thing. They get that back. They get to dig. They're going to find a Murktide sooner or later. I've exhausted most of my card advantage spells. Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, I think I'm going to scoop it up. I think this game was 100% about they were putting force on the top. They knew they just needed to wait. This game was 100% about that Tamiyo that I couldn't deal with for like 5 turns. And that absolutely was the difference maker there. All right, on the play again. Round 3 up against a likely reanimate type player. I'm going to keep this Plow and Solitude heavy hand. Just in case they're fair. Like this has everything that we want. It's got our mana. Play that out. Was a pass. If we don't need a Plow, there's an argument for cycling, but I don't think it's correct to cycle. But they play the Goryo's Vengeance in Modern. So they may just switch to like a reanimate deck, which I do have a couple cards that are good for that. If they Thoughtseize, like our hand is pretty uniform. They are Thoughtseizing. I'll just let it happen. They may take the Solitude because that can be reanimated and work as a threat. They do take it. Okay, I'm just going to chill, see what I draw. Okay, that's a brick for sure. That sucks. I will play at a island. Yeah, we're playing 17 lands. I don't like, and we had a functionally a 4-lander, and then we drew a 5th land. So that's unfortunate, but it's not likely with this deck. I don't think it's a deck building mistake. It's just bad variance. It might be that I shouldn't have kept this hand, but I felt like we're against an unknown opponent. We've got lots of removal. They're likely going to be winning through creatures. Let's see what happens. And long games almost always favor us. Long games that don't have a Tamiyo that jumps out and, 5-for-1s us. Because we did get a lot of favorable exchanges, but we didn't get any flow states. We didn't get any resolved Lorien Reveals. Okay, I think they're on show and tell here. If they're playing Mistrise. That's not usually played in Reanimator. I still want to just hold this Lorien. I just, at least we have a force, even, if they do try to jump the queue, so to speak. We should not draw a land here. Okay, good. We did not draw a land. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am just going to go get a plains, and then I'm going to play at this island. No, I'm going to play at the Vista, and then I can grab a white source if I need to, and I'm going to go get the Meteor Sword because that comes in off show and tell and blows up whatever they have. So they should force this if they're thinking about like what this could represent. But most of their history is in Modern and not Legacy. But yes, they did correctly force here. That it was a very important play. Because once the sword is out, then basically they have to somehow Thoughtseize me before they can cast the show and tell. But now they don't need to worry about it. But now what I can do is I can go get the... are they going to go for it now? No. It's just a ponder. Okay. And I'm holding this fetch up not only to get a plains, which is my intention, so I can support my Sword Splashers, but so I can potentially like brainstorm this way if I get lucky and draw a brainstorm. By the way, the card that they pitched to force was a stock up. So they're on like a big show and tell deck that just happens to play black. And they thought about Thoughtseizing me there, I think. And they untapped. You have to watch closely to see what color mana, but I think that was black mana that they went for. So we're taking a natural draw here. Top of our deck is unknown. Spell Pierce is actually pretty good. I'm going to play at the island. Just continue to develop our mana. They may Thoughtseize, and then I can Spell Pierce, and then they just don't know whether we have interaction. Unless they play a land. Then, in which case, they can just, cast the Thoughtseize and I can't stop it. I think I'm supposed to trade here. Because this allows them to potentially reconfigure their hand, and they are Thoughtseizing. And this is fine. If they want to take the Lorien Revealed, they do. So I have double plow for their threats. If the card that they get is like a card that has a really powerful ETB trigger, which it is most likely to be. So this way I can keep one or both of the cards. I want the Stoneforge and the Spell Pierce, but I'm just going to take the Stoneforge. Is that correct? Yes. Yeah, I want the Spell Pierce. Actually, let's think about this. So Spell Pierce, they're not going to have the mana to go off. Stoneforge goes and gets the sword. I think I am supposed to go get the sword here. Again, I would like to get the pre-war, but then they can just party immediately. I could hold the Pierce. If they have Ancient Tomb, they still don't have the mana. I think I'm supposed to wait and just take the Pierce here. Yeah, and then I Stoneforge next turn, and I immediately go get pre-war. Does that make sense? I don't know. I think it's fine. They're low in mana, so Mistrise can't really abuse me. And I feel pretty glad that, because I'm denying them 2 cards here. All right, and I think at this point, like if they had a land, they would have played it. They could just like top deck it and jam it in. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and go for the pre-war because that does a lot more damage long term. Like if I don't get pre-war, yeah, if I just get the Meteor Sword, then like okay, I've got a Meteor Sword that they Thoughtseize out of my hand, and then I'm not doing anything. No, it's correct to get Meteor Sword because I can just put it in and then I can blow up one of their lands at the very least if they don't Thoughtseize me. And if they do try to show and tell, then I blow up whatever they put in. If it's like a Omni-Tell type thing. This can also clear Baragoyf, which might be in their deck. Okay, this is great. We'll take a natural draw first. Okay, Lorien Revealed. I don't hate it. I'm going to go ahead and just... I can do it in the instep, but like if I blow up this up right now, I'm denying them 2 colors. I think I'm going to do it. Because this removes their ability to dig through their deck. So they could have exactly Ancient Tomb here into Show and Tell. If they're playing that would be strong. I still have white, by the way, off this. I'm going to just see if I draw. If I draw like just a land, I'll just jam Lorien here. Otherwise, I'll equip and I'll attack. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to jam Lorien. Damn the torpedoes. And there's a decent chance that we find a force here. We haven't had one. So our deck has a lot of forces in it. Okay, flow state's not bad. I'm going to go in for my 1 damage. It does matter against like Gristlebrand and stuff. So what I can do is I can put the land in and then I go fetch a plains and then I can plow. Okay, there's a pedal. They may go for it here. They don't. Also, I'm at 17 life, which is nice because I can survive like a car strike. But I'm not sure how I would survive subsequently. Okay, there we go. That's great. All right, so first things first. Let's go ahead and go with the flow here. We get 2 cards. I think Spell Pierce is exceptional, and I'll take the Stoneforge. We don't need any more plows. Now I'm going to Stoneforge And I'm going to go get the cloak. Cryptic coat. Coat just seems like a less exciting word than cloak. I would have called it cryptic cloak. It sounds so much cooler, especially in the Cloak and Dagger, mystery series. They may force here, which is fine. But then we have force and spell pierce up, which is quite a potent combination against interaction. Let's go ahead and get the cloak. I will continue to call it cloak. It just seems more flavorful. Like, I'm going to go grab my coat. I mean, it just seems so pedestrian. I've never read a fantasy book where they referred to a cloak as a coat. It just seems like such a missed opportunity to sound cool. So they could Mistrise Village if they have like a big burst of mana. It doesn't look like they're going to do that. All right, I'm just going to take a natural draw here. Another flow state seems correct. We're burying them. Absolutely annihilating them card advantage-wise. Pro tip, don't stumble on your mana against a control deck like mine. I will take advantage of it. I think it's better to flow state again. Wait. I play my land. I'm actually not going to flow state again. I'm going to equip. And we're just going to bash for more. One of the great things about the sword that I think people overlook is it really does like speed up the game. They're at 7. They can't even reanimate anymore. We've got just 2 points of interaction. Ancient Tomb. Okay. Stock up. This is a Pierce. Did I show Pierce earlier? Yeah. By the way, did I mention Pierce is insane against these combo decks? I love Pierce. I'm not even going to let you dig deeper. Like, they're dead on board technically. What's the other mana you're going to pay? Oh, Fatal Push on that. Okay, I'll just equip the other one and attack you. And then you won't be able to tap your Tomb. That's fine with me. Okay, I'm not going to force here. Just in case there's like some sort of surprise. I don't think it's correct. I guess Yeah, I'll just equip and I'll attack. Yeah, they just scoop to it. Okay, so they would have been at 1 with very little action. Okay, so against them, it's very much like a Force of Negation matchup, and I think Containment Priest is quite good against Show and Tell. Again, they didn't show the Show and Tell. We're not certain they're on Show and Tell. This is take out all the plows. We've got Solitude, which comes in off of the card and screws them up anyway. Other cards we could cut. It's certainly tempted to cut Pre-War, but they're playing Fatal Push. I'm not going to cut it. You may notice I never cut lands, even though I expect them not to do anything. Like, our mana base is just so razor thin that I just don't feel comfortable cutting lands. Back to basics, I think it's just not worth it against these pedal decks. Okay, that's perfect. Didn't have to make any real compromises there. 6 in, 6 out. Solitude is going to be notably harder to cast now. This is a keep. This is a strong keep. So we've got Force Pitch, Flow State, probably, if we need to. No, Force Pitch, Brainstorm, and then Lorien Revealed turns on Flow State, and then we rebuild. It feels like almost unfair to be able to play Stoneforge Mystic and Flow State in the same deck. It's just so much card advantage. But it wasn't enough in the previous round. So here, I'll just play this island out, and we'll pass. Got double Flow State here, so I want to force something and Lorien Revealed, and then we just go to Flow State Paradise. And this is the kind of matchups that I was hoping to face, not the extremely grindy, Stifle Pup / definitely not the Yorion Taxes matchups. Those are just bigger versions of what we do. Or Yorion Taxes is. I actually think we might be favored against Stifle Pup, but it didn't work out. Do I want to force this? I think I do, because this gives me Flow State next turn. And I could get screwed as a result of this. I am fully willing to acknowledge that I could be screwing myself here. All right, I'm going to go get an island. And then we're in the zone. Or just like that, on turn 2, casting a Flow State in the zone. It's pretty good. All right, and we drew a Force too. Oh, insane. Okay, and I'll take the Solitude for sure. And I don't need the land. I'll take the Stoneforge. All right. I was worried about not having enough white cards, but we're doing fine, white card-wise. So let me resolve my Flow State, please. Don't do anything I have to force. That's fine. So next turn is definitely a Stoneforge, I think, and I hold Flow State as my blue card. I would like to Flow State again, but should I Flow State again? They did an imperfect Brainstorm. I certainly could. Now I am really tempted to Flow State again, because if I can find like a second Force effect, I think we're doing great. They do have the Mistrise Village, which would really mess up my hand, and I'd have to rely heavily on Solitude. The other alternative is we just With the coat. And then we can beat them down pretty quickly. I'm going to go ahead and try this. Because Pierce is also something I can find here. Yeah, let's try it again. And that force on stock up was just so important. And that was something that like maybe I wouldn't have done back in the day. But now that I realize the sheer brutality of flow stating the flow state. Yeah. Did I mention the sheer brutality of flow stating the flow state? Let's do this. Maybe I should have taken the land there. Maybe that was greedy. So I have Pierce up. Force next turn is flow state into a land and to a Mystic Sanctuary, hopefully. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to Pierce this for sure. I just don't want him to dig. That also clears one of the bad cards from the Brainstorm. Okay, I think we need to stop screwing around here. Let's find the land. Huh. Yeah, I'm going to find a land. I'm not going to flow state yet. Okay, and this is perfect. So let's take one of these lands. Then we can play Mystic Sanctuary. And then maybe go ahead and just find a second. Oh. Yeah, I think I just do it like this. Mystic. And I'm going to go get the sword because I can blow up their stuff and it makes it life very inconvenient for them. Yeah. And now we have two things. Like they Thoughtseize, we have two must take cards from our grip. I could have absolutely pondered there. I think I'm going to go ahead and force this. Because I'm a little bit worried that we start to run out of things to force. Yeah, they just scooped that match. They're just like, okay, can I do anything? That was a clean 2-0. All right, final round. Let's do it. Final round of this glorious league. We're up against an unfortunate pairing. Likely the Ocelot Pride deck, but this hand's fine. Got both my colors. I have Plow if I need it. There you go, like turn 1 Guide. They go turn 1 Pride. I might just go ahead and Lorien Cycle. Would have been nice if I could have had access to blue just in case I need to pierce something. Yeah, this is a pretty terrible matchup. Guided Souls. Huh. I think I do want to just go ahead and get the land here. I'm trying to think of what I could draw that blanks this, and I can't really think of anything. I am almost certain I have to plow it, unfortunately. Get rid of the land. I'm going to plow here just now. I guess I could wait, but now I have Brainstorm, which I can then shuffle. I would probably put away the coat if that chance arose. Waste of Victory. So I am going to go ahead and Brainstorm now while I can to be mana efficient. I'm actually kind of tempted to just force this. Yeah, I think this is a force. They're down to 5 cards. I don't need this many lands. I'll just upkeep Lorien Cycle. Yeah, I think this is a force. Force now or forever hold your forces, I like to say. Spell Pierce is pretty mediocre against their deck. Okay, and now upkeep. I'm just going to Lorien Cycle. I guess I could have deployed a Crypticode here, but I'm not convinced this is where we want to be. Let's take a natural draw. That is what I'm talking about. That is very good. Go ahead and get our... I don't think it's the Meteor Sword. I think it's pre-war here. Just in case we like lose something in combat. Yeah, it feels better than Meteor Sword because I don't think it's likely that this survives. Also, this card is really annoying. So maybe I should have gotten the pre-war just to be able to potentially take out the Caracas because that shuts off my Jane. Like if they have Snuff Out, which they might have. Yeah, they're on the 3-color version. Bolts, all those things. Amped Raptor, annoying card. We're probably cooked here. Also, they have access to Bowmaster, which makes it even worse than the normal. Oh, gosh. This one, too. Okay. All right, and there's the Pride. Okay, so we have a pretty good blocker that can at least keep this back for a turn cycle, but we're going to take so much damage. All right, let's think about this. I think this is just Ponder trying to find a Plow for Pride. I can always put in Cryptic Coat. Flow state is... We're in the zone. I think I'm supposed to flow... I can Lorien Cycle. Yeah, I'm going to take this flow state. Okay, and now I was Lorien Cycle, get an island, and then I'm going to put in a Cryptic Coat because they'll think, oh, well, they can't do anything, and then I'm going to kill their Ocelot Pride. That's my vision for this turn. And then the next turn, after the Ocelot Pride has been righteously slain, yeah, and they could technically like have a plow for the Cryptic Coat. Oh, okay. Well, now I have to do this. I don't have a choice because they'll definitely take Cryptic Coat. But this does deny them some good attacks. They're probably going to take the flow state. And it's worth noting that they would need another mana because this has Ward 2 to clear it. Oh, they do have another mana. Is their last card Plow? If it is, they're going to be able to go to Pride Country. They should just attack with Raptor. I will take that. I think I'm supposed to put the pre-war in next turn if I draw a land, and then I can just start beating them in the face with it. Even though I'm not getting anything back. Okay, they're shuffling here. What are your last 2 cards, friend? Okay, there's Parloring. Yeah, I don't regret any of the decisions I made this game, but it's just a really adverse matchup. All right, that's the land. So here's what we're going to do. Go ahead and put this in. Okay, and now I'm going to equip here. I'm going to try to tempo them. Attacking for 5, unblockable. And then it's hanging back to be able to block. Yeah, I think it's extremely unlikely, but my Voltron might be able to get there. They're at 11. They can just throw a bunch of stuff at me. They do have the mana if they have a Plow to clear this. I gained 5. They don't have attacks. I love it. Holy cow. Are we going to get one against this deck? Such an adverse matchup. And I even drew Plow. That's insane. Now let's go ahead and go across. And I can recall this to hand in the end step if I want to. And redeploy it. I'm not even certain that I Plow. I think I'm supposed to Plow the voice. It's tough. It's tough. I think, so what I do is I instep, bring this back, then redeploy, and then I've got lethal pressure. This doesn't have lethal pressure. It's so tempting to just Plow this voice, just to reduce. I'm going to wait, though, because I've got 2 mana to bring this back, and then 2. No, I actually didn't need. I could have Plowed and done it. Wait, this is 3 to return? 2. Yeah, I could have definitely deployed another dude. Okay, what do you got for me? No attacks? I'm here for this. I'm not going to make a move. They're down to 1. I kind of think I do make a move here. Wait, they could have Bowmaster. Does Bowmaster do anything for them? Not really. I can just Plow it if they have it. I'm going to try this. I'm trying to see if there's... Yeah, they do have the Bowmaster here. I'll just Plow it so they don't get any more value. That gives them... I'm just going to Plow now. Congratulations, you gained a life. I want to keep this guy alive. Do you have a second Bowmaster? You don't have a second red. They are in the zone for the purpose of using Ocelot Pride. Back to basics. I can show them that, and then I'm going to board it out. I think that's the correct thing to do. We'll lock down 2 of their lands. All right, back to basics. You have no more black. Yeah, I think back to basics comes out. Like, I know that like they have enough basic lands. I just wanted to show them so they'll sideboard accordingly. All right, got it. That was stealing a victory. That was insane. Wrath of the Skies, get in the deck. Holy cow. Spell Pierce, pretty mediocre here. It's not atrocious. Yeah, back to basics does feel bad, and they have Blast too. I think I'd rather keep the Pierces in. Now they're going to fetch around back to basics because they're not going to want to get locked out, hopefully. Is it correct to keep back to basics? It's correct. I'm bringing in the Hydros for sure. And I think I'm taking out some Spell Pierces. Am I taking out even more Spell Pierces? Let's look at what we have here. So like pretty much everything is good against them. I don't want to cut forces. Yeah, I think 1 Spell Pierce is fine. Pyro is so good. And then just Wrath. Like that is the card for the matchup. If we can resolve Wrath, we're in a great place. Okay, and here we go. Wrath hand with double white. So this is a keep. I mean, it's a crappy hand, but like I'm hoping to like 3 for 1 or 4 for 1 of them. All right, guide. That's a very strong start. We may be too late, even with the very quick Wrath. So this puts a sorcery in the yard, and then if we draw an instant, yeah. I'll go ahead and open with planes here. I should have probably opened with just like a fetch, just to get deeper into my deck. The life might matter. Okay, if they have... Gosh, what are they going to have here? Thoughtseize is the scariest thing. Uh-oh. Voice. That's fine. I think I do cycle DeLorean here. Just in case I draw a Plow, then I'm like pretty close to the zone. This is going to be crazy, unfortunately. I might actually just flow state for nothing here. Just to get like a card deeper into my deck. We'll see. If I draw a Plow, I'll just fire off a Plow to buy time. I think that is supposed to wait until after combat. Yeah, after we wipe their board. Gosh, if they have... I need to get up higher in mana, but I'm going to be taking so much damage. How much damage am I taking next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm taking 6 next turn. I play at the Stoneforge. It can at least chump for a turn cycle. Goes up a card. And then it's almost certainly going to die, and I'll have... Yeah, I'm going to play it out. I guess I'll conceal the fact that like I've got Wrath, because if I do double white, they're going to start thinking about Wrath, and I don't want them to. I want them to play into it. So we're going to get Pre-War, which seems innocuous, like who cares? But it's actually going to be very instrumental, because I'm going to use it to get Stoneforge back after I wipe the board. So this turn, I will definitely block, but I probably won't be able to trade. Hopefully they like Bowmaster to like try to finish it off. Amp Raptor. Okay, well, again, like Wrath is either going to win me the game or it's not. It's either going to be in time or not. I'm on the draw. What do they find? Thoughtseize. Okay, this is the end of the game. I basically have to draw a second Wrath or the game's over. There's no way that they're going to let me have this Wrath. And now like they've gotten even more momentum with their energy. Yeah, that didn't take them too long to think about. Okay, so this levels up. I will just block the voice. And again, like I said, I identified very early Thoughtseize was how I lose, and that is indeed going to be how I lose, sadly. No, they're doing it on the voice. Okay, that's fine. Block here. Okay. Well, I do have Sword that I can put in that blows away voice, but Guide is probably the bigger concern. Let's see. Cryptic Coat. That was good last game. So we blow up the voice, and they don't necessarily have the ability... Like, they may not have another creature, and then they don't get to guide me. Oh, yeah. I think that is what we want to do here. I'm so low in life, I'm actually not going to use the fetches. I'm just going to play this out. What do I want to do? Okay, let's think. This is probably the most important decision in the game. So we Meteor Sword, hit the voice. I can wait till combat, but then the problem is that they're going to have like a bunch of extra energy. I think I'm supposed to just take out the voice now and pretend that I have something to do, but I don't. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And again, the reason I'm going after the voice here is because it generates all those creatures that aid the Guided Souls. I could see an argument for taking out Guided Souls there instead. Maybe that was the correct argument. And just taking a ton of damage. Because if I took out that, I could take that in the... No. Yeah. All right. I think the odds of me winning are probably like 10% or less. They would really need a brick here. Okay, that is a brick. 4th land. Another Amped Raptor. That is certainly not a brick. They get a trigger, so they're going to get a big guide. We're going to take 5 here, plus whatever they find here. If it's a Bowmaster, it's devastating. Therapy, they know our hand. That's bad news. They can even like take 2 cards out of it. Okay, they took our flow state. What's this last card? If you have Bowmasters as well, that's so perfect. So they can Bowmaster ping me, sacrifice the thing, take away another card. Please just chill. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's the end of the game. Because what will happen is they'll just sacrifice that to the therapy. Okay. Yeah, and like to be completely candid, I don't think I would have won even if they hadn't Thoughtseized me, because they would have therapied and they would have seen it and they would have flashed back. It was just like a play draw dynamic. I don't think there was a win there. Yeah, I don't think you could put our cards in the hands of anybody and they could win that. I could be wrong. Spell Pierce. I mean, maybe it's better to just like high roll into back to basics, because like they weren't really aggressive. Like they're a 3-color deck. I'll play one of these. Yeah, I think Spell Pierce is not that great though. I don't know. Maybe it is. This is risky. Because like we're basically completely all in on Brainstorm finding us a land. And that's not that likely. I'm going to mulligan this. I know it seems crazy. This is the keep right here. And if they don't have a Thoughtseize, what's going back? I think it's Flow State. Yeah, because I'm going to need to keep developing my mana to be able to Wrath. But I am on the play this time. So I'll just lead with this. And we have Plow for their first threat. And then we're just trying to bridge. Stoneforge goes and gets Pre-War. We play a second White Source. If they don't play anything worth plowing, which seems unlikely, then I can just Lorien. And in fact, if they Thoughtseize me, I'll probably Lorien. Guide is fine. I don't want to... I think I go ahead and deny them the value just to buy time, because it's just so powerful. And I am going to telegraph hard when I fetch a Plains here that I have Wrath. But I do want to get this on the table. If they therapy me, it is backbreaking. Holy cow, would it be backbreaking here? Hopefully they don't do that. Because they could, like, hit my pre-war. And I am going to get pre-war. I know that it's telegraphing hard, but, like, this is the life we've chosen. Because they wipe at the Wrath, and they flashback. They take me off Lorien, so I don't get islands. But, like, I'm once I play the second planes, I fully committed to telling them, like, hey, I'm on Wrath of the Skies. Deal with it. All I ask is that you don't have therapy and something to sack. Because that just completely wrecks me. They probably name pre-war for the first one, and then... Let's see, what do they have here? Okay, that's fine. Okay. So let's see if we can... unfortunately, I can't find back to basics here, because I don't have the mana, but, like, it would be good. Like a flow state would be good here. Flow state would be insane here. I did put a flow state back for my hand. No, wait, I shuffled. Did I put it back? Actually, I did put it back. So flow state's not on the bottom because it's shuffled. So I've got 4 flow states I'm drawn to, which would be absolutely insane. Come on, deck. Goblin Bombardment to the art here. This is a cool card. I love the art on this, too. I feel sorry for those goblins. They're always sacrificing one another. No respect for one another. All right, Stoneforge. Love it. Let's go get an island. We might actually win this game. Island. Stoneforge Mystic. I am going to get the pre-war or the sword, because like I feel like their mana might be soft here. They're a 3-color deck. I don't think the sword killing them is where we want to be, because we have the long game covered. We win the long game here. It's just a question of getting to the long game. They also are a... Oh, gosh. Yep, they're going to get 2 cards. That sucks. Like it's basically guaranteed because they've seen what we're coming at them with. And now, like, anything they flash back is devastating. They'll probably take the Wrath. Yeah, this could be like a... Raptor would be probably the most annoying voice. Okay. Well, I need to remove that. Gosh. Yeah, I mean, that sucks. That really sucks, because they can just sacrifice one of the tokens. So I think I Lorien revealed. And then I chill, and then I just put in the pre-war just to have it on the table. Because I'm not going to be able to Wrath at this point. They're down to 3 cards. I want to make my land drop. And then I have Hydroblast to clear one of their dudes. I could just play out the pre-war, like, main phase. That way I can block one of the things. I think that's actually the play. It sucks that I'm having to play this out for no value, but now I can block, and then next turn I can equip, and I at least have like something that is attacking to kind of like neutralize the life loss. I'm kind of glad that they bin this, because that would be absolutely devastating, but they may have a redundant one. It's a lot of mana. They are absolutely taking my Wrath here. There's no way they leave me with it. Sculpture is annoying, but I have it covered. Okay. So I am going to block this, and if they want to Bowmaster it, I'm screwed. They flashback, take my Wrath. They see the Hydro, which is going to be aimed at their Hexing Squelcher for sure. And then I equip pre-war and start hitting them in the face, but it's not going to hit them in the face faster than they can hit me, unfortunately. They're down to 2 cards over there, though. Back to basics would still be insane. All I'm saying, deck, is Thor good enough? So we Hydro, we Thor. Well, this has to happen, I think. I think I am going to play the Thor. It sucks that like this does damage to me. All right, I'm going to play the Thor. I think it's better than attacking them, because if I get to actually resolve this, I have a card draw engine. Now I chill. There's no point in attacking. I'll just hang back and try to block their stuff. There's so many cards in their deck that deal with this. It's not even funny. Plow. Blast. Onslaught Pride, okay. So that's, like, I'm actually happy to see that. I'm happy to see that too, because I can equip pre-war and hit for 5 in the air. They don't have good attacks. Okay. All right, let's think about this. So pre-war, and then we just use Stoneforge, and we go get the thing. Yeah. I want this to have vigilance, so I can attack with it. If they're able to clear, like, man, if I just targeted the pre-war, I would get an extra card. It's fine. Do I want to? Yeah, I want that card. I'm going to target that. So it comes back. I get the ability. Let's go get the thing that killed them in game 1. Hopefully it's good here. And then they take the 5. And now anything they attack with is going to die to Mighty Thor. Unless they can plow it out of the way. Then I have Cryptic Coat, which can get equipped with pre-war. Like if they plow this, it's not that bad because at least I gain some life. But if they blast it, it's devastating. But if they blast it, I guess I can... Yeah, they have yet another one. Man, they're about to start getting a lot of life. Okay. How are you attacking? They get so many permanents. That attack doesn't make any sense. No, the other ones see it. Yeah, that's fine. That does make sense. I am going to block it. I think if they were going to do that, they should have probably attacked with voice, but then maybe I would have cleared voice. Okay, so they do get some stuff. But if they attack with this, they get a bunch of tokens. They definitely get City's Blessing. I don't know that they get City's Blessing here. They get 1. They get 2. Is that City's Blessing? That is. Okay, they got a bunch of cats. All right. All right, so I'm not going to put this in yet. Gosh, is there a way? I need to find the Wrath. Wrath for 1 would be devastating for them. Okay, let's draw naturally. Brainstorm. Let's brainstorm and find a Wrath. They're hellbent. Okay. Let's... I think at this point, we just have to get rid of the voice. I don't want this or this. We'll shuffle these away. I'm glad I didn't... okay, let's think about this. So Cryptic Coat. And then we flicker Cryptic Coat and we get an extra card. I actually probably need to plow one of the cats. I'm going to go ahead and activate this. Okay, so with that draw trigger on the stack, I'm going to fetch. Get another island here. I guess I should have gotten a white just in case I draw a double plow. Like I could draw a second plow and that would be very good. Okay. So I have not made a land... Wait, did I make a land drop here? I did not. So I'm going to blink this out of existence when I attack. And then I get another card. And I get another manifest. Let's go ahead and attack. Okay. So we draw. This is cool. Getting to showcase this in the final game of the final round. Okay, Force of Will. Unfortunately, that doesn't do anything. They take 5 in the air. I am going to just plow one of these Ocelot Prides here. I can't... Like, I could force whatever they come... But I think the Ocelot Pride itself is scarier than whatever they have coming off the top. And I do want to make a land drop. I'm going to go and do it. This way I might find a plow and also be able to hold up. Okay, let's play that. And I have a lot of damage next turn, but it's probably not enough. So many cards they could draw here that would just be absolutely brutal. But yeah, well, I can't believe we won that. I can't believe we won that because they would have had to kamikaze here. And then they also would have had to... maybe they don't attack here. Man, that was incredible. Like, that was definitely... Like, if you're one of the chill human beings stuck around to watch the very end of that, kudos to you, because you just saw an exceptional match, in my humble opinion. And you saw an exceptional showcase of this new card, the Mighty Thor, Jane Foster. She was incredible. I mean, I was very excited about Aang, Swift Savior. And in my mind, like, just within a year's time, we got like a strict upgrade. This is better than Aang. This is way better than Aang, in my opinion. Aang is sweet. I love Aang. But like the main reason Aang is so good is because it's blue and white. It pitches to both Solitude and to Force. So I think that final round was just incredible. Like they exhausted everything. They were like able to really enact their game plan on us. They were able to get our Wrath out of our hand, and they were also able to lock our Force in our hand and do other stuff that they were able to get advantage through their creatures. But ultimately, the card draw that we got off Jane and the fact that she's evasive, she's a flyer, and then just equipping our equipment. Like, there were multiple times where we just equipped our equipment and our creatures were bigger than theirs, like that Eldrazi matchup, and we just were able to overpower them. And I think that's what Stoneforge has always been about. Now, I want to point out that over the past 2 years or so, we've completely upgraded the suite of equipment. We don't use any of the old equipment anymore. And I think this set of equipment is very good. If you're in like a show and tell heavy matchup, you could consider, instead of playing Cryptic Coat, playing, gosh, I don't even remember what it's called, but it's the one that like exiles a creature. It's kind of like the Oblivion Ring, but it's blue and white. And just that blue and white thing is so huge. So flex slots, certainly Spell Pierce, certainly you could play more land, certainly you could just play a bunch of Tundras. Again, this channel, I like to showcase what you can do on a budget. $900 deck. It's a lot cheaper than, you know, traditional 2-color control deck. There was like maybe 1 or 2 points in the league where we were like, damn, I don't have quite enough mana to do what I want to do. It's a lot higher skill. I think like the hardest, like highest skill ceiling deck to play in Legacy is just like straight up Jeskai with all basics and stuff, and maybe like 2 dual lands, the classic Jeskai. But you don't really need red, frankly. I think Solitude is like better in most cases than Prismatic Ending, and now we've also got Erode, which I'm not playing here because I'm playing Solitude. And I think you'll agree with me that like in this shell with all these white cards, Solitude's actually really good. Like there were several instances where, you know, Solitude was 2-for-1s and we got to actually play at the body. The games went very long and I had an absolute blast. I love this deck. I'm going to be definitely playing it some more. Give me feedback on the list, but I would say like pretty much everything is locked except I'm not sure about the Spell Pierce, but it felt quite good. And I do like the ability to just take out Spell Pierce and bring in Wraths and maybe like some, you know, Hydroblasts for the Pride matchups. This is not a dead card against Delver, but there are, like, obviously against Eldrazi it's dead, but you just kind of like side grade it. Or it is an upgrade into Consign to Memory. Hydroblast felt good in the final round. We did get to take out the Squelcher, which, you know, would have been kind of a pain, not a huge pain, because we weren't countering things anyway. It was just kind of like a redundant anti-counterspell type card. Yeah, felt great. There were some points in the league where I think like the clock was stressing me, and just note that again I'm playing from behind the Great Firewall. I have to like tunnel out into my server in Oregon and access the internet from there. And I mean that's, you know, 15,000 miles. That's quite a trek. But once it gets there, you know, it does everything. It's just like being on the regular internet, but there is that additional latency. And also my local internet here at the house, I don't know what's going on with my in-laws and their internet, but it kind of sucks. So my point is, if you're like in reasonable internet connectivity land over there, you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to worry about like weird deep packet inspection. You don't have to worry about like taking additional, you know, trips through servers. You probably don't have to worry about this latency. And you probably also don't have to commentate. That does take a lot of time to think about what I'm going to say. If I just play without commenting, I'd probably say I play like 25-30% faster, maybe 40% faster. So you shouldn't have to worry about the clock too much. But this deck does struggle to turn the corner. I'm not sure if it's a good paper choice, just because there will be lots of games like that game where we were just like waiting around and solituding their threats. I want to shout out my opponent in round 4 who was on that Merc deck. That was really sweet. I love Rolling Dragonstorm. So cool to see people continuing to innovate on that, even though, I mean, frankly, flow state is absolutely insane, as we saw against the round 4. Actually, so it was the round 3, I think, that we were up against the Merc deck. But round 4, just completely annihilating the control deck by dramatically outdrawing them on flow states. And then I can pierce your, you know, stock up. So that was a cool kind of end game state as well, just having the card draw engine. Did I miss Tamiyo? Absolutely. I think it would be better to just play a bunch of Tamiyos, frankly. And you could take out the Spell Pierce and just play her. You'd probably want to take out one of the Solitudes. You'd probably want to force a negation in this slot. Or maybe you play a Spell Pierce. I think the guy that I mentioned, Marco Male or whatever his username is, he was playing 1 Pierce and 1 Spell Snare, but I don't believe in Spell Snare, frankly. I just don't think it's that great of a card. I would definitely play 2 Pierce if you had it, but also keep in mind that he didn't need to play all the Lorien Revealeds, and he was able to play like Wastelands and other cards, so he didn't need to play Back to Basics. I think if you're doing no reserve list, you do want Back to Basics, because it is a way to fight back against the, you know, Urza Saga type decks, and certainly Tron, which we haven't run into in recent videos, but that is out there, and it is still winning in a lot of ways, even though the Candelabra was just the latest tech. It is still very much a threat. 2 Wrath of the Skies, you could go up to 3. My main concern, since I'm on basics, is just like producing double of anything. If you look at the deck, almost no double colored mana at all. Like by the time we get to 5 mana, we're almost certainly going to have 2 blue source. Actually, no, not quite certainly, because we're playing 4 planes. We could get an extremely bad distribution where we have 4 white sources and only 1 island. But in general, like, I'm okay with situations like that where it's like it's a 5-mana spell and you have to have 2. But Wrath of the Skies, frequently you're like trying to Wrath for 0, essentially just to clear out constructs and stuff. And it is pretty hard to reliably have 2 white, which is why I'm only playing 2 of these. But if you're playing the Tundra version, you could absolutely have a 3rd one. And in fact, Marco Male was playing he was playing 2 of the main deck, which would be a nice luxury to have if we had. But the fact that like I can get so many wins and perform so dominantly against like what are traditionally pretty bad matchups, that shows you that even the kind of like depowered, no reserve list version of the deck, that there's something here. That this Mighty Thor, Jane Foster, and this Stoneforge Mystic with the current equipment package, there is something here that is powerful, that is legacy viable. I'll leave it there. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.